Ever wondered how the super rich really build their fortunes? Well, today we're cracking open a book that's basically a secret weapon for some of the world's most successful investors. We're talking about Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits by the legend himself, Philip Fisher.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. When a guy like Warren Buffett says a book changed his life, you gotta listen up, right? This isn't some get-rich-quick fantasy. Nope, this is the real-deal blueprint for building a financial fortress that can actually stand the test of time.
So you're probably wondering, what are these secrets? Well, over the next few minutes, we're going to hand you the keys to Fisher's kingdom. Think of it as a powerful set of tools you can actually start using, like today, to build a more secure financial future for yourself.
All right, so where do we even begin on this path to uncommon profits? Well, it all boils down to one single, really crucial decision, a choice that's going to shape pretty much every investment you ever make.
You've got two paths in front of you. Are you a gambler, frantically jumping in and out, trying to time the market's every little move? Or are you more like a business owner, patiently partnering up with truly great companies and just letting them do the heavy lifting for you? Fisher was a huge fan of that second approach, and for a very good reason. It's the one that has consistently built massive fortunes over the long haul.
Okay, so long-term investing it is. But how in the world do you find these uncommon companies in a sea of just average ones? It's definitely not about throwing darts at a stock chart. Fisher actually gave us a treasure map, a proven system for digging up these businesses that have the potential to become absolute giants.
And the heart of his method? It's this incredibly powerful 15-point checklist. Seriously, think of it like a super-powered X-ray that lets you see right through a company's hype and look at its true inner workings. It helps you separate the future superstars from the ones that are just a flash in the pan.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. 15 points sounds like a lot to remember, right? So let's just boil it down to 3 simple questions. First, the what. Does the company actually have a killer product and a real burning desire to just own its market? Then there's the who. Is the leadership team packed with rock stars who are not just brilliant, but also ethical? And finally, the how much. Is the company basically a money-making machine with profits that are built to last?
All right, let's say you've done the work. You've found a great company. Now what? Well, the next piece of the puzzle's all about timing. See, knowing what to buy is really only half the battle. Knowing when to actually pull the trigger, that's where the real magic happens.
And yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Do you jump in when everybody's excited and stocks are soaring, or do you wait for things to look a little scary? Fisher's answer here is just a masterclass in thinking differently from the crowd.
Yeah, forget trying to predict the future. Fisher's advice was simple. Stop trying to predict the weather and start focusing on the quality of your ship. The absolute best time to buy a fantastic company is when it's on sale, and some temporary problem has everyone else running for the hills. That's where discipline creates a massive opportunity.
Okay, so what about selling? When do you do that? Fisher's answer might surprise you. Almost never. He truly believed that selling a great company is one of the biggest mistakes an investor can make. The only time you should even think about hitting that eject button is if you realize, oops, I made a huge mistake in my original research, or if the company has just fundamentally lost its magic. You got to learn to ignore the noise, ignore the so-called experts, and just let your winners run.
But investing isn't just about the smart things you do. It's also about the dumb things you don't do. Fisher knew that avoiding those huge, catastrophic mistakes is just as important as picking the winners. So he laid out a crucial list of investor don'ts just to keep us on the right path.
So what are they? Well, first, stay away from the hype machines. Those companies with a lot more sizzle than actual stake. Second, don't be a sheep and just follow the crowd, especially when it's heading towards a cliff. And please, please, don't let a high-looking price tag scare you away from a world-class company. The reality is, sometimes you absolutely have to pay up for quality. Oh, and don't miss out on a great long-term opportunity because you're arguing over a few pennies. And finally, don't spread yourself too thin by over-diversifying.
And all of this really brings us to the heart of what Fisher was all about. See, it's not just about making money. It's about building a financial life that actually gives you peace of mind. It's about becoming what he called a conservative investor, but probably not in the way you're thinking.
Conservative here doesn't mean stuffing your cash under a mattress, not at all. For Fisher, being conservative meant playing really, really smart defense. It's all about protecting your hard-earned money from those devastating losses, while still giving it plenty of room to grow into a real fortune.
So, what does a truly safe investment actually look like in Fisher's world? Well, think of it like a three-legged stool. First, the company itself has to be a well-oiled machine, just the best in its class. Second, it needs a team of brilliant, trustworthy leaders running the show. And finally, it needs a secret weapon, what Warren Buffett would later call an economic moat, something unique that keeps all the competition away.
And that, right there, that's the secret sauce. The real path to wealth isn't about frantic trading day in and day out. It's about finding just a handful of incredible companies and then having the wisdom and the courage to do, well, nothing. You just sit back and let the incredible magic of compounding do its thing.
So as we wrap things up here, I just want to leave you with a simple question to think about. Are you playing for today, or are you building for a lifetime? Are you chasing that fleeting thrill of a quick buck, or are you laying the foundation for a future of real financial freedom and true peace of mind? Thanks to Philip Fisher, you now have the roadmap. The rest? Well, that's up to you.